sentence of his account, he claimed Jesus to be the Christ, the Son of God. There are three principles in this book of Mark that we must consider when we study it. First of all, Mark displays both Jesus divinely and within the realm of his humanity. That he can be so divine that he can walk on water, but then yet have to eat a sandwich and be concerned that everybody else ate. Two, Mark even tells about the emotional state of Jesus, that he did have emotion. He did get angry. He did get filled with compassion. He did cry. He had an array of emotions. He had compassion for life. Mark also stressed as Jesus, the teacher, and he was teaching those who were around him how to live. And he stressed this, the servant of God, the teacher who was teaching others to be subservient. But when we look at this woman, we can talk about Mark, but when we look at this woman, what did she do? She was desperate. She was a desperate person. She suffered. She had an issue that lasted 12 years. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being sick one day and feeling better? Can you imagine being sick 2 days and feeling better? But this woman suffered for 12 long years. I talked to a preacher, and he's one of my friends. He's an older pastor, and he said that, he told me, he said, Brother Benz, I was sick for 10 long years. I said, I can imagine being sick for a couple of months, but 10 long years. I said, what did you do? He said, well, I was sick. When I felt like doing, I did. When I felt like doing a little work around the house, I did. I never missed Sunday morning service. I never missed. But I just kept on going, even though I felt like giving up. And he said, when the healing came, he said, I didn't even know when it came, but it came, and I just started feeling better. Now, this woman had what is called a chronic condition, abnormality. She could have had a fibroid tumor of some sort. She had a major problem. And so she went through for 12 long years going to the doctor, back and forth, waiting on the answer, and want the answer to the question. This condition, she was this affliction, she was suffering, she was physically and emotionally going through. How many times have we gone through physically? How many times have we gone through emotionally? Because when you got long-term chronic illness, you begin to really review your mortality. You begin to look at yourself and say, will I be around tomorrow? When will it end? When will my end come? When will my healing come? She endured medical cures. She had suffered under medical treatments. She had consulted with many doctors. She was hopelessly incurable. She had only grown worse under doctor's care. She was desperate. She had spent all her money going to the doctor. She was going in debt and not getting any better. She was looking for answers and nobody had the answer. How many times have we gone through that? How many times have we gone through going to physician after physician, but never checking out Dr. Jesus? Oh, she was honest in her affliction. She had heard about Jesus. She was there when Jesus returned from healing the demonic boy from Gennesaret. She must have heard of Jairus and the official at the synagogue who beseeched Jesus to heal his daughter. You know, sometimes we search for answers and we find out that it isn't here. We go talk to somebody that's not there. We by the process of elimination, we start eliminating people. And we find Jesus. 12 long years going through, waking up, not feeling like living. 12 long years of suffering. 12 long years of going through. How long can I go through? 12 long years. She had heard about Jesus. She says, that's my answer. That's who I need to come after. She heard about the crowd around Jesus. And see, many people were touching him. Many people were bumping up against him. It was almost like a star-like thing going on around him. But nobody could access the goodness that was in him.
All right, now go ahead.
Oh, the Galilee area had been previously seen Jesus heal a paralyzed man. Also a man with a hand that had withered, and the large crowds of people who had diseases and evil spirits. He was running revival basically there. People were getting healed, and she knew about it. Oh, he raised up the centurion's servant from the dead. He raised the widow's son from the dead, and she heard about Jesus. You know, sometimes all we got to do is hear about what he did. And it will inspire us to get up and go to where the healing resides. She's been through everything else, and she might as well try Jesus. Yes, you know that song. Why don't you try Jesus? He will answer prayer. Oh yes, others had been healed by Jesus in Galilee through touching him. She believed that Jesus could heal her. That was the first step in her deliverance. She believed that it could happen. If you believe that it can happen, you can just set yourself up to be healed. If I can just touch the heel of his garment, she had a target. She had a specific target that she was trying to get to, but there was a problem getting to the target. Number one, the crowd. Number one, the crowd. She believed that Jesus could heal her. She said over and over, if I could touch his cloak, I'll be healed. If I could touch his clothes, I can be healed. How many times have we been so desperate that if we said, I don't even have to talk to him, I don't even have to have a conversation with him, all I need is to touch him. I don't have to have him sitting me down and say, what do you need today? I just need to touch him. That's all it's going to take is one touch. And desperation will make you stretch out of faith. Desperation. I'm desperate for this to happen. I'm desperate for my deliverance. I'm desperate to be free. There are some animals, I think it's a raccoon, that if you trap him, he will knock off his leg to be free. He will do damage to himself to get out of the trap. And he said, I will walk around maimed before I walk around bound. But look at us sometimes. We are bound and we like it. We are bound, suffering, tormented, and we won't move. We won't move. We'll just lay there and take our beat. Yeah. We always joke about our dog. Dog get in trouble. Instead of doing like wasn't running,